Good evening, welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Gitasha Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 10th of June. Hindu man hacked to death in Bangladesh, second in a week. India and Korea hold 5th edition of joint naval exercise. And now for all the details. A joint naval exercise between India and Korea took place in India's southern Tamil Nadu province. It was aimed at boosting naval ties between the two nations.
The 5th edition of the joint Indo-Korean naval exercise was held in the Bay of Bengal off the Chennai coast in southern Tamil Nadu province on Friday. Indian and Korean Coast Guard personnel demonstrated merchant vessel hijacking scenario, interdiction of a pirate vessel, joint boarding operations, search and rescue, and external firefighting techniques. During a high-level meeting, the two countries had also decided to establish a mechanism for sharing intelligence in real time.
Point of contact between the two Coast Guard will be established here in Mumbai and in South Korea, Busan, where all the information related to search and rescue, pollution control and piracy will be shared on a real-time basis.
The two countries had agreed to hold this joint exercise in a Memorandum of Understanding or MOU signed back in 2006. Out of the 5 joint exercises conducted so far, 3 have been held in Korea. Last year, Indian Coast Guard ship Sarang had visited Korea for the exercise.
The US authorities have approved a broader role of its military to assist the Afghan National Defense and Security Forces to fight the Taliban-led insurgency in Afghanistan. Earlier, the US military were accompanying Afghan special forces only when it was needed. But under the new policy, the US commander in Afghanistan, General John Nicholson, will be able to decide when it is appropriate for American troops to accompany conventional Afghan forces into the field. US defense officials have said that decision would also allow greater use of US air power. The expanded powers are only meant to be employed at key moments in their offensive campaign against the Taliban. An Indian woman, aid worker, has been kidnapped by unknown gunmen in Afghanistan, security officials have said. 40-year-old Judith D'Souza was abducted from Taimani area of Kabul on Thursday night. No group has so far claimed responsibility for the incident. The Indian embassy in Kabul is said to be in touch with Afghan authorities to secure her release. This comes after the Indian embassy last month issued a security alert for Indians residing in Afghanistan and travelling to the country on the persistent volatile situation. There is no end in sight to political turmoil in Nepal. While the Federal Alliance has gone on a month-long hunger strike, former Nepal Prime Minister Baburam Bhattarai has accused the KP Sharma Oli government of making the country a centre of international conflict.
Former Prime Minister Baburam Bhattarai has accused Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli of trying to make Nepal a centre of international conflict. He said this while showing solidarity toward the Federal Alliance Relay Hunger Strike rally in capital Kathmandu on Thursday.
हाम्रो आन्तरिक समस्या हामी आफै हल गर्न सकेनौं भने बाह्य शक्तिहरुले हात हाल्ने खतरा हुन्छ। मैले देखिरहेको छु केही समय यता सरकारमा भएका मानिसहरुको चरम एउटा स्वार्थ, महत्त्वाकांक्षा, संकीर्ण सोच र पुरातन सोचका कारणले गर्दा.
While saying that the issues of agitating parties must be addressed, Bhattarai hinted that the KP Sharma Oli government has been able to prolong its stay only with the support of China, while India wanted to change the ruling alliance. Leaders and activists of the Federal Alliance, coalition of 28 major political parties, started a month-long relay hunger strike early this week, demanding provisions for proportional representation and rewriting of the constitution.
Another Hindu was hacked to death in Bangladesh by suspected militants on Friday. 60-year-old Nitya Ranjan Pandey, who was a Hindu monastery worker in Pabna district, died on the spot after several assailants attacked him while he was out on a morning walk. This comes as the latest in a series of attacks on minorities and liberal thinkers in the Muslim-majority Bangladesh. 3 days ago, a Hindu priest was killed by militants in similar fashion. Over 30 people in Bangladesh, including members of religious minorities, liberal bloggers and academics, have been killed since February last year. Most of these attacks have either been blamed on or claimed by the local Islamic State militants. Several Sufi shrines dot India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. They draw people from different religions in large numbers.
Sufism in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province has served to promote a common way of understanding the world. People believe in the powers of Sufi saints and congregate at their shrines to pay respects. Recently, devotees thronged the Shahadra Sharif shrine of Sufi Saint Baba Ghulam Shah Badshah in Rajouri district to observe his Urs or death anniversary.
यहाँ इस दरगाह शरीफ में बिना इम्तियाज़ मज़हब मिल्लत रंग और नस्ल हर एक यहाँ आता है और अपनी मुराद पूरी करता है। जो लोग यहाँ आते हैं उनकी मन्नत पूरी होती है, मुराद पूरी होती है और खुशहाल होकर जाते हैं।
The Urs is a perfect example of Kashmiriyat or values of Kashmiri people celebrating a seamless coexistence of various cultures and religious influences.
Food from every place has a distinct taste and individuality. The ingredients and style of cooking make a dish unique. India's northern Lucknow city is replete with food outlets that have name, fame and flavor.
What makes food special in Lucknow city of India's northern Uttar Pradesh province are the recipes that have been passed down through generations. Opened in the year 1968, Idris Ki Biryani is a small shop that does not have any signage but is famous for its delicious mouth-watering mutton dum biryani.
अपने अपने तरीके होते हैं बनाने के। ये खासियत इसकी ये है कि हम थोड़ी थोड़ी सी बनाते हैं, 2 किलो 3 किलो की बिरयानी बनाते हैं और कोयले की भट्टी पे बनाते हैं। कोयले की भट्टी पे बनाते हैं और दूध और मलाई पे बनती है, प्लस इसका मटेरियल नंबर 1 का होता है सर।
The tempting flavors and rich taste of the biryani, which melts in your mouth, is savoured by people of all ages.
जो ingredients हैं वो बिल्कुल different है और taste बिल्कुल ही अलग है। Even मतलब कितने भी अच्छे रेस्टोरेंट में आप चले जाइए, वो taste आपको नहीं मिलेगा जो इनकी बिरयानी में मिलेगा।
While nothing remains constant, the city has managed to keep its heritage and taste of the traditional delicacies intact.
Indian fashion designer Parnia Qureshi displayed her summer resort festive collection in India's entertainment capital, Mumbai. And lighting up the runway was Bollywood diva Sonam Kapoor. Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Hindu man hacked to death in Bangladesh, second in a week. India and Korea hold 5th edition of joint naval exercise. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. And that's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.